In this video, we're going to review the division algorithm for fractions and look at it through the lens of a model. So, say we have 3/4 divided by 2/3. So, as we've done before, 3/4 is the total, and 2/3 is the size of the group. We know with division we could go either way. I'm just going to think about it this time for now. So 2/3 is the size. And what we're trying to figure out is how many groups can we make from this image right here, where the size is 2/3 of the total. So the first thing that we can do is we can take our thing that we already have here and break it up into thirds going the other way. Okay, so I've taken my 4 pieces and I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces, right? So I've multiply the number of pieces. So all of my 3 red here, I now have 9 total things available in my total. And I need to make size of group be 2/3. And remember that needs to be 2/3 of the total. So for a moment, let's just think about what 1/3 of the total would be. So if we were to just look at our rows here, 1/3 would be 4 of these pieces. So here I have 4 pieces, that makes 1/3. And here I have 4 more pieces, that makes a second third. So each one of these pieces is 1/3. So here we go. We have one whole huge set right here of 1/3. So if I have 3/4 total, and I need to make groups of size 2/3, so far I can make one group. One group being each of those 1/3 pushed together to make 2/3. What about this little piece that I have left over? Well, since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces are what I need to be in the size of my group is 8 of these pieces. I only have one of those 8ths left over. So I can make 1/8 of another group. If I had 7 more pieces here, I could have made a second group. But since I only have one, I have 1/8 of what would make a second group. All right, now let's see how we could do that without needing to draw the boxes every time. So a step-by-step process or an algorithm. So I started with my 3/4, my 3 columns here. And the first thing that I did was I multiplied the number of pieces by 3. That way I could break the whole box up into thirds. So the numerator was multiplied by 3. And what that wound up giving me was 9. Okay, then I had 9 pieces. Then I actually divided twice. So first I divided those 9 pieces by 4, right? I made 2 groups of 4. Then I took that number of groups there that I had and I divided it by 2 so that I could put it all together and make 8. So I took my 9 pieces and I divided it by 8. And that came from first dividing by 4 and then dividing by 2. So I took my 9 pieces, I split them up into groups of 4, that's what gave me my 1/3. Then I took the groups that I had and I divided that by groups of 2 so that I could make 2/3 total. So that dividing by 8 came from this first dividing by 4 and then dividing by 2. Now I have 9 pieces, all size 1/8, which means that I have one whole thing, 8/8, with 1/8 left over. In general, when I'm dividing fractions, I just know the size here is going to become the numerator here, the denominator becomes the numerator, and the number of pieces here becomes the denominator down here. It affects the size of the piece. So I'm going to take my 2/3 and I'm actually going to multiply by the reciprocal 3/2.